Hi, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. My name is Kim and I'm a sewist. I love to sew. I've been sewing since I was 5 years old. My channel name is Dorothy's Daughter, and that comes because my mom, her name was Dorothy, and she taught me to sew among many other things. Just a little bit about me first, and then I would like to share my March makes with you. Sewing is a blessing in my life in so many ways. It's a creative outlet, and it allows me to wear all the pretty things. I've always been a little overweight, and at this point in my life, I'm on the blessed second half of my life, and I can't wear the things that the young girls could wear, but I still like them. So I can sew all the pretty things and make sure that all my bits are covered up. And it's really a blessing to be able to, I've pretty much found that you can just about adapt any idea to wear, as long as it fits properly and is appropriate to your degree of modesty. So I really do love to sew. I also would like to, I wanted to start this channel because I love to teach. So I hope to have some sew-alongs, maybe some tutorials. I am currently teaching my sweet daughter-in-law to sew, and we will be on together sometimes. We will be Dorothy's daughter and Dottie's mama, because my little granddaughter's name is Dorothy, after my mom, and we call her Dottie. So we decided when she's on with me, we'll be Dorothy's daughter and Dottie's mama. So we'll call that part of the vlog Jamie's Journey, and we'll be doing some of that as time goes on. I also just have recently had to retire from my career as a professional photographer because of an injury. And if you'd like to read more about that, I do have a blog post all about that. I will put a link in the description. I'm not going to bore you with the details, except that I suddenly was able to have all the time that I needed to sew because I can't crawl around parks anymore and shoot weddings and all those fun things I did for 19 years. So the kind of things I love to sew, I guess my aesthetic, my style would be kind of a feminine touch, and I love color, and I love, I like to maybe not be trendy, but I like to be current when I can be. At least, I guess it's relative, right? I'm 61, so how current can I be, right? But I try to be current with kind of, stay in touch with what the trends are. I love to watch Project Runway. I was very excited that Michelle won Project Runway All-Stars last night, and that was a really exciting thing because I feel like she deserved it. I haven't always thought that about her on other seasons, but this time I think she deserved it. I don't know if you are a Project Runway watcher like I am, but I love Project Runway. I wish that we could get the Great British Sewing Bee here. If anyone knows how to watch that in the US, would you please leave me a comment down below so that I can watch it. You can get bits and pieces on YouTube. It used to be some on Daily Motion, but they've taken them off, and I really do love hearing about that when the British vloggers are all talking about it the day after. I wish so much that we would either have something like it here or that we could watch it. But anyway, we do have Project Runway, and that isn't quite the same, but it is a lot of fun to watch. So what I've made in March, I'll just start there. What I plan to do is I'll show you this week what I made in March, and then in next week we'll talk about my April plans, and some of it's going to kind of spill over because there's at least one project that I'm doing that is a little bit more involved, and it will need to be April as well as March. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the Hawthorne dress that I made. It's a shirt dress from Colette Patterns. I have a Seamwork membership, which if you don't have one, it's a wonderful thing. It's like $8 a month, and you get 2 patterns. You get to choose 2 patterns of your choice from either the Seamwork or the Colette pattern line, and they fit very well. They have good instructions, and I would highly recommend them. The Hawthorne dress that I made, I was looking for a shirt dress. I bought this chambray on a trip to San Antonio a couple years ago to visit my brother. There's a fabric warehouse down there that's just fantastic. It's called Fabrictopia. It's kind of in a obscure place in a warehouse district, but it's just wonderful. And I bought this chambray there, and it's very high quality. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but it's kind of been sitting on my shelf in my attic bin for a while, and I decided I wanted to make a shirt dress out of it, so I went ahead and did that. I wanted to add a feminine touch to it, so I did use an old lace tablecloth and cut some of the lace out of it and put a lace overlay on the collar. So that was a real fun make, and I also got the coolest buttons from Amazon. I'll put a picture of them here too for you to see. They were not expensive, and there were tons of different designs in that package of, I think it was 100 wooden buttons. So that would be something that if you like fun buttons, especially for a chambray shirt dress, I thought they were really perfect. I could see them on kids' jeans or a jumper or something like that too. I also made, I love the Tessa Sheath Dress from Love Notions Patterns. Love Notions is a wonderful pattern company. They do a lot of great knits. They have some woven patterns too, but I particularly love their knit patterns. The Tessa Sheath Dress is just a simple sheath, but I did a mashup with their Sybil skirt pattern and this Tessa Sheath, so I'll put a picture in as well, but if you can see, there's kind of a dropped waist, like a dropped yoke, like a flounce on the bottom of the dress. And this turned out great. I love it. This fabric was from a online group I'm in called Knit Fabric D-Stash, and people go on there and they just sell the things that the fabric that they have in their stash that they don't think they're going to get to. So I bought this. I have like 2 yards of this left that I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but maybe somebody can have a top out of it or whatever. But I love this fabric. It's the softest. It's I think double brushed poly, so it's just that soft, the kind of things like, if you know LuLaRoe, it's kind of like their leggings, how soft they are. That's the kind of fabric that it is. I love it. Another thing I made was this Akita top from Seamwork. It's another Seamwork pattern. The Akita top is basically one pattern piece. And it's just one pattern piece that lops over and goes up the sides. And it was a nice make. It feels really good on. This is a rayon challis that I also got from the D-Stash group that I'm on. It's a wonderful, just going to be so cool in the summer. I wore it to church a few weeks ago with a sweater over top. It's just a really, really nice, really nice pattern. I also am teaching, as I mentioned, teaching my daughter-in-law to sew, and we use the geranium dress pattern for her to make. She's making my little 2-year-old granddaughter her Easter dress, and I made one alongside of her so she could watch me and then do it. So this is the geranium dress. It's by the pattern's by Made by Ray, and it's just a little dress. I added this little ruffle inset in the piping just to jazz it up a little bit, make it different from the one that Jamie's making, so that she won't have 2 dresses the same. This is the geranium dress. It has lots of variety. You can add collars and sleeves and whatnot to it. It's made by Ray, and I think the newborn to 3-month size is actually free. So if you're learning to sew and you have a little one, that's a really good place to start. I also made a couple of Blackwood cardigans. I'm participating in Sew My Style 2019, and the cardigans were the item that you were to sew, and the Blackwood cardigan was one of the patterns. I loved that pattern. I made this sweater knit one. I'm going to put a picture in of that. And I also made a white one. It was a very lightweight jersey that I made it out of. I'm not particularly crazy about that one, only because it's so lightweight that you can kind of see through it. So about the only thing I can wear it over is like a white tank top, maybe. Or maybe throw it on over my bathing suit. I could probably do that. It's nice, but I don't think I'll wear it as much as I wear the floral one that I made. I love that one. I can see wearing that all seasons. I can see going into the spring when I live in Ohio, and we do have cool days all year. It does get hot, of course, but we'll always have an occasional cool day when we need a sweater. So I'm sure that cardigan's going to be right at my reach. The other thing I made the Lotus Blossom top by Love Notions in a gray bamboo jersey. It's very soft, very drapey. I also really love that pattern a lot. I think I'd like to make it in something a little more substantial the next time. The bamboo jersey was rather thin, and because of that, it draped beautifully. But I feel like I have to wear a cami underneath it. I should probably tell you what I have on as well. This is the Laundry Day tee from Love Notions Patterns. It's a great, just a great pattern. You can whip it up in an hour or so. And I do tunics or dresses usually. I haven't done the shorter length at all, but I love this pattern because it's just like an oversized tunic, and it's looks really nice over skinny jeans, and I can't see it, but I have my gingers on that I made a couple years ago, ginger jeans. I also am working on a special project that I'm really excited about, and I'm gonna get that here. I am working on a jeans refashion. I think I'll put the picture of the drawing in this video, so you'll see that in a few moments. What I'm doing is I'm using a pattern, a seam work pattern. Phoebe is like a jumper or sleeveless dress kind of pattern. And I am sewing all of these flat felled seams together. There's 11 pair of jeans in this dress. So this is going to be part of the bodice, and the bodice will be cut at an angle. So it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited about it. So not a whole lot more I'm going to say about that, because I think we'll probably have a vlog completely devoted to how that was accomplished. So I'm very excited. It's going to be a conversation piece when I get to wear it. So I'm very excited about that. Well, I hope that your sewing days this week are many, and that you're enjoying any time that you have to get away into the sewing room. Remember that you don't need days. You can slip away and sew for 30 minutes a day and accomplish great things. You don't have to make 9 things every month. Even if you only crank out one, it's still an enjoyable time, and you end up with something wonderful that you can wear. So I would love if you came along on the ride with me as I share my journey and my thoughts and advice, hopefully some good advice about sewing, because I have been doing it for a long time. And just welcome you into my life. And if you would like to follow, if you would hit subscribe and then the little bell so that you get notified of all the new videos. I hope to post at least once a week. My goal would be to post a video twice a week eventually. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is a new venture for me, so I think if I can do once a week for a little while, that will be good. If there are things you'd like to hear about, see, questions, please put them in the comments, and I will try and answer them, and perhaps you'll give me some good ideas for some upcoming topics. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to be going to San Antonio again, and I will probably try to take you along with me as I go to that fabric warehouse, because I think if you live in that area, you really should visit. I'm surprised how many people I run into when I'm there visiting my brother but had no idea that shop was there. It's wonderful. Last year at Christmas time, I went and did all my fabric shopping for Christmas, and I spent $100, and I walked out with 33 yards of fabric. And some of it was satin and lace and special occasion fabrics. I also had lots of sweater knits. It was amazing. It was just amazing. So, well, that'll wrap it up this time, but thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.